Hello, YouTube subscribers. Hello, Michigan Wolverine fans. And hello, Facebook. This is Harry Bryan with another video. I have to be honest. I was very reluctant to make this video because my mind is still trying to grasp what happened during the Fiesta Bowl where TCU upset Michigan to secure their spot to play in the national championship game on January 9th. I was watching that game. Even though I was at work, I was definitely watching it on my phone. Before I continue with this with the video, I want to say something real fast. Yesterday, during the Monday Night Football game between Cincinnati and Buffalo, something very disturbing happened. Something very scary happened. 24-year-old Damar Hamlin, he collapsed on the field. And I think the whole NFL world just stood still, seeing what happened. When I seen it after the commercial break, and I just seen all of his teammates was surrounding him, and they was on their knees, they was praying, and I'm like, what happened? And then when they went to another commercial break, and they came back, they had the ambulance out there on the field. Then they went to another commercial break, and I was like, this is serious. This is something different. So the whole football world was shocked to see that happen. Damar Hamlin fell on the ground, unresponsive. They performed CPR on this man for a total of 9 minutes. And they finally jump-started his heart. But they still had to put an oxygen tube in him, in order for him to breathe, because he couldn't breathe on his own. And now he's in a local hospital in Cincinnati fighting for his life. He's in critical condition. So, as a football fan, I want to send a heartfelt shout out to the family of Damar. It was very disturbing to see that, to say the least. And I wish Damar Hamlin a full speedy recovery. Because the whole entire football world was shook up. Matter of fact, the whole entire sports world was pretty shaken up by those developments about what happened to Damar Hamlin. And to Damar Hamlin, my prayers goes out to you, brother. You'll get better. Come back to us. Don't leave us. We need you. Your mama needs you. Your family, your loved ones. We need you to still be around. So, that's what happened yesterday. And, of course, they had to postpone the game between the Bills and the Bengals. And there's no guarantee that that game will be rescheduled. So, that game may just be canceled. And I don't blame those players from going out there and didn't want to play. Because how can you play after you seeing your teammate down on the field like that, unresponsive? They was crying, emotional. They was in no shape mentally to go out there and play. So thank goodness the NFL did the right thing, and they decided to postpone the game, to cancel the game. So that was a good call by the NFL. So anyway, enough for that. Now back to Michigan and TCU. I was very reluctant to make this video because, like I said, I as a Michigan fan, it hurted me. It just hurt. This loss felt different. This loss was different. This loss, I couldn't even go to sleep for the past two nights because of what happened. And to see TCU moving on to play Georgia for the national championship, it's like my mind didn't want to accept it. And I just didn't have the heart to make the video right then and there. But I had to take a few days for me to really accept what happened and for my mind to come to grips as far as what happened. And so now that's why I'm here making this video. Here's what I take away from this Michigan disappointment against TCU. JJ threw 2 pick sixes. Then what was supposed to be a touchdown was nullified by the referees. And I'm not going to use that as an excuse of why Michigan lost this game or came up short. It seemed like everything that could go wrong for Michigan went wrong for Michigan in that game. Now, I give credit to TCU. I give credit to Sonny Dykes and those TCU Horned Frogs. They came out and they wanted it more than we did. They played with more energy, more fire, more passion. You can see it throughout the entire first half. You can take a look at the score. TCU was on fire. I told people prior to this matchup that TCU is not to be joked around and they're not to be taken lightly. And I said to multiple Michigan fans on multiple Michigan web pages, and I kept trying to tell people that TCU is not to be taken lightly. You take them lightly at your own discretion. And I knew before that game started that Max Duggan was going to be a problem. And sure enough, Max Duggan was a problem. It seemed like TCU played well, and Michigan just picked a bad time to play terrible. I don't blame the Michigan players solely for what happened. I blame a multitude of things that contribute to Michigan falling short, besides the bad officiating. Terrible play calling. I don't know what they thought about when they tried to run that Philly special. What was that? I mean, why would you want to run something that you probably never ran before, and it didn't work? The play was busted from the start. And if I'm Jim Harbaugh, whoever made that call to play that play, they need to call Philly, the city of Philadelphia, and apologize for them screwing up that play like that and naming the Philly special. It wasn't nothing Philly about that at all. And it wasn't anything special about that. So not just the play calling was terrible. Our defense gave up more points in that game than they did the whole entire year. It seemed like our defense couldn't stop TCU's offense. Our defense, I don't know what was going on. They was missing their assignment. They leaving receivers wide open. And they scoring big, huge chunky yards. Or getting huge chunky yards. It just seemed like our defense just wasn't there. Now, don't get me wrong, in the second half, Michigan did, make a comeback. They tried. But the first half of that game, TCU, and I don't mean to cuss, but I'm just going to say it. As a Michigan fan, it pains for me to say this, but I'm going to say it. In the first half, TCU had their foot up our ass. And it wasn't a damn thing we could do about it. We sat there and watched TCU dominate Michigan throughout that first half. That first half, TCU had their way with Michigan. On both sides of the ball, on both sides of the scrimmage. They had their way. And then, of course, the second half, TCU gets the ball. But Michigan did try to fight back. Michigan did fight back. But it was just too much to overcome for Michigan. Because it seemed like every time Michigan scores, TCU turns right back around and counterpunches. So TCU was well prepared compared to Michigan. So how did Michigan lose this game? Besides, like I said, the bad officiating, which I'm not going to use that as an excuse. Terrible play calling. Poor clock management, especially in the fourth quarter. How you going to wait until the clock gets down to the last minute and 7 seconds in the game to use a timeout? And that timeout should have been used to keep more time on the clock. But yet, poor clock management. Poor play calling. Terrible play calling. Like I said, everything that could go wrong for Michigan went wrong for Michigan. And it really bothers me because everybody thought that Michigan was going to face Georgia in the national championship game. But no one told TCU that. TCU ruined our plans. That trophy was right there, nearly. And TCU just took away that opportunity for us to play for it this year. So now January 9th is TCU that's playing for the national championship. And not us. For the second year in a row. So whatever criticism Michigan gets, whatever criticism Jim Harbaugh gets, we deserve it. We play like garbage. We played our worst football at the wrong possible time. And that's exactly what happened. TCU was ready, and we was not. And there was no excuse why we lost that game. Everybody gets the blame for the way we lost that game. The players get the blame. Some of it. The coaching staff gets the majority of the blame because they're the ones that call the plays. And then some of the blame goes on the officials. Especially that targeting call. How you not going to call the target? And clearly Michigan was hit by that TCU player with the crown in his helmet, and the official didn't even call a targeting call against TCU. So it's a whole lot of, like I said, everything that could go wrong went wrong for Michigan at the wrong time. But let me give Sonny Dykes his credit. Sonny Dykes, TCU, congratulations on winning the Fiesta Bowl. And now you're one step closer to winning your first national championship since 1938, been 84 years for the TCU Horned Frogs. 84 years since the last time they won a national championship. 84 years. But good luck against Georgia. Because I think Georgia is going to win their second national championship. They're going to be back-to-back national champions. unless TCU play like they played against us. But I don't think they're going to get away with that against Georgia. Georgia got too much firepower. TCU got Max Duggan. Georgia got Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett been on fire. But I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to watch that game because I'm still heartbroken over Michigan losing. Not saying I'm not a sore loser, but I just can't stomach that we was the ones that was supposed to be playing for the title. And my mind was set practically for Michigan to play for the national championship, and for the fact that that opportunity was stripped from us. I just can't stomach seeing the national championship game on January 9th. But congratulations to both teams, TCU and Georgia. And like I said, I'm pretty sure that it's going to be a good match. But I still see Georgia winning the national championship, and they become back-to-back national champions. And the SEC still reigns when it comes to national championships. So we got to hear that for another year. Oh, well, it is what it is. But as a Michigan fan, I'm disappointed in how our season ended. But at the same time, I'm proud of that team. We were 13-0 going into the Fiesta Bowl game. Michigan did a hell of a terrific job this year. All year, Michigan played lights out. At least we achieved 4 of our goals. We did 3 out of 4. Michigan beat Michigan State. Michigan turned around and beat Ohio State. Now, that was, in my opinion, the biggest win of the season. Was when Michigan went to the Horseshoe and they defeated Ohio State. Went to Indianapolis to play for the Big Ten championship game. And Michigan once again became national champions. Big Ten champions, not national champions. Big Ten champions. So congratulations to Michigan. Congratulations to our team. Congratulations to Jim Harbaugh, even though he's getting a whole lot of flack criticism. As far as how our team came out and played this Fiesta Bowl. This is the worst game Michigan never played. This is the worst time for Michigan to play their sloppiest. But you know what? It is what it is. We just got to learn from it, and we just got to get better next year. Hopefully next year, Michigan will return back to the CFP. But until then, our season's over. All this talk about Jim Harbaugh going back to the National Football League, that he need to go ahead and make a decision. If he's going to go back, stay, okay? I had enough of it as a Michigan fan. Every year, Jim Harbaugh, his name is brought up for these NFL jobs. And it just seems like it's messing with our recruiting in the process. It seems like the media has a total bias against Michigan. And even they make it a way to interfere with our recruiting by keep saying all these negative things about Jim Harbaugh. Well, Jim Harbaugh is going back to the NFL. Well, then he need to go ahead and go. Okay, I had enough of this fiasco. If Jim Harbaugh going to stay, then he need to go ahead and say it, be concrete about it, that he's going to stay at Michigan. But if he straddling the fence, then he need to go ahead and go back to the NFL, and then we'll be looking for our next head coach. Because no matter who's the coach and who's not, no matter who's there, who's not, I'm always going to be a Michigan fan. I don't care. That it is what it is. I know this is not my best video, but hey, it is what it is. This is raw. This is who I am. This is how I feel. So that's my takeaway. Like I said, I'm disappointed. I'm still trying to get over this loss, and I will. When time passes on, I'll be all right. But this does hurt, and it is what it is. So that's the end of this video. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, and you will get more content. If you like it, please hit the like. hit the notification bell. So until then, this is Harry Bryant signing out. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy 2023. And until then, hail to the victors. This is Harry Bryant. Deuces.